like he said, oh, we are live now. So here we are. We're live. We're live on the Garage Happy Hour. I was just giving Torry some backstage instruction, but he knows exactly what he's doing. Torry Holt,
Yeah,
the
I'm a pro.
outstanding Rams wide receiver, one of the greatest in NFL history. By the way, I was going to ask you off the air, but I'll ask you now. How old is your daughter? We were just talking about your daughter.
Yeah, my oldest daughter is 17 years old, so she's a freshman at NC State playing on the soccer team, women's soccer team. They have a game tonight at 7 against
Okay.
Clemson. And my youngest daughter, Brooklyn, is no, I'm sorry. My oldest daughter, Brianna, is 18 years old.
Gotcha.
Who's a freshman at NC State playing soccer. My youngest daughter, Brooklyn, is 17 years old. She's a senior in high school, and she'll be going to NC State next year to play soccer. And then my son, Braden, who's the oldest, is 20 years old, and he's at NC State.
Man.
Studying to be an engineer. So yeah, man, we're empty nesting, my wife and I.
Wow. What is that like? Because I was told that, so my girls are 15 and 10. I wasn't really prepared for that yet. I had a friend of mine tell me last weekend, whose daughter just went off to college, and he said, dude, it's going to be tough there for a little while.
Yeah, for me, it was tough initially. I remember moving Brianna, my oldest daughter, into college, and I cried pretty much all day, and just overwhelmed with emotions because we're sending them on their way, and hopefully we did a good enough job where they can hold themselves, take care of themselves, and stay the course and go there and stay focused and do what they love to do. But now, I mean, the months have passed, so I'm totally comfortable with her gone. We talk to her almost every day or every other day. My wife Carla speaks to the girls and speaks to my son Braden as well, pretty much like I said, every day or every other day. So, and they're only Tom, they're only 30 minutes away, so
yeah,
they can pop in on us at any time.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure that we get you out so you can go catch that soccer game. But that is so cool. And so you're in Raleigh. You're right there by
Yep.
NC State.
Yep.
And my girls are 15 and 10. My youngest, who's 10, is in the house right now as I broadcast live from my garage. And the Cardinals just came back, Torry. They were down 5-1 when she got off the bus. The
Yep,
bus drops off right here. She walked in the door. They came back and won 8-5, won their 12th in a row. And I said, well, obviously, you're the good luck charm. I mean, you got off the bus, and look at this, rallied.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's awesome. And I see, I follow you on Twitter and all the social pages, and you're constantly talking about the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are rocking. They're kicking ass right now. So go Cardinals. And big shouts to all of our St. Louis Cardinals fans that on this live and around the country that follows the Cardinals. I remember being in St. Louis and having an opportunity to go and watch those Cardinal games. That's when they had, McGuire, and I mean, they were loaded with tons of talent.
Yeah.
But we enjoyed going to the Cardinals games because it was an actual event. Like we would go downtown, we would do the horseback riding not the horseback riding, but we would jump in the chariot and ride around the city and see all the fans, and then go into that lively stadium. So I miss those Cardinals days, and I'm looking forward to getting back to St. Louis to check out a Cardinals
anytime
game.
You want. Anytime you want, you just call us and we'll take care of it.
No doubt.
We'd love to have you in St. Louis. Yeah, those are great days. I mean, you had the Rams did their thing, and we're obviously going to talk about that here as you were drafted in 99. But the Cardinals were good. I mean, they were starting to make their climb after the McGuire home run race, and then they took off. Yeah. The Blues were really good at that time. St. Louis was crazy good, and we've had some really good times around here, don't get me wrong. But the Rams made it special. And I'm not going to get into all of this. Like, I don't want to get into the Rams leaving and all that. Maybe ask you a little bit, because I know you still support them. I see the shirt, and I know you said, I'm a Ram no matter where they are. But that was an amazing.
This is Tom. This is St. Louis Rams.
Oh, I can't. Look at that.
So I did that with intent. That was purpose. I did that with purpose. I knew I was speaking to my folks back in St. Louis, and I love our LA Rams. No question. I mean, you know that, and those that follow me on social and still keep up with me know that I support the team. But this shirt says St. Louis Rams football.
I love it. Such good times. I mean, such good times. And when it all took off and St. Louis was rocking, that the Rams being as good as they were, It was a rock concert every game. It was an event. It was an incredible ride. But I want to start with this. When you were drafted, I remember I was at Rams Park. You know, Rick Smith had the big food spread out ready for us on draft day. We're all sitting there watching the draft at Rams Park, and you were drafted out of NC State. Take me to that moment. What was that like for you after a terrific college career and you're headed to the NFL?
Incredible moment. You know, I was at home in Gibsonville, North Carolina with my family. My pops decided to have a cookout. I wasn't invited to the draft. So for one, I was a little pissed off because I wasn't invited to New York. But at the same time, I was cool because I was at home with my family and friends and my teammates from college. My girlfriend now, my girlfriend at the time, my wife now was also there with me, my sister, my brother, the neighborhood. So it was great. And we had a fish fry and food and grease splashing all over the place. So we was watching the draft. So it was a great time. And then all of a sudden, I get a phone call and it's my agent say, hey, look, it's Coach Vermeil. He wants to speak to you. And, you know, jump on with him. So I jump on. He said, hey, are you ready to be a Ram? I'm like, yeah. Are you ready to make me a Ram? Let's do it. But soon after I said that, Tom, I was like, holy crap. I'm going to this shitty team that was just 3-13 the year before. Do I really want to go there? But I was so excited to be accomplishing my lifelong dream of playing in the National Football League and being drafted. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, you can't call me quick enough. Like, you can't get my name up to the board quick enough. But after that went away, I was excited, man, to be drafted. And then when I started looking at the roster and seeing what was going on, I was like, man, this is a good football team on paper in terms of the talent. Now, the record may not show that, but in terms of talent, good team. And then I get there, I get drafted. Then I get into, mini camps and rookie camp and all that stuff. And I see guys coming in and out and we got practice. And I'm like, wow, looking at Isaac run and looking at Ricky and all the talent, like I mentioned, that was on the squad. I was like, okay, we got a good football team. But don't know why they're 3-13 and 2-14 from the previous years or whatnot. But this is a good football team. But I was super excited to have an opportunity to live out a dream of mine. And St. Louis couldn't have been a better opportunity, a better city for me to come in as a young fella and be focused and have the opportunity to focus in on the game of football. And our fans are fantastic. They embraced me. A lot of our fans didn't know who Torry Holt was because in the Midwest, they're not watching a lot of football in the Southeast.
Yeah.
So a lot of people scratching their heads like, who is this? Who is this dude? Can he play? So I heard some of those rumblings. So I was charged up and excited to get out to St. Louis to show the folks there, the people in the Midwest, who I was and what I was all about. And lo and behold, in my rookie year, man, we accomplished a lot. But that was the excitement that I had initially when I heard that I was coming to St. Louis to play football.
I mean, you could see it. You were a great route runner already. You had great work ethic. You had a great positive attitude. You had the great hands and speed like a receiver should, but you had all the intangibles to make you a winner. Where did that come from, Torry? Where did the work ethic come from?
The work ethic came from my parents, my grandmother as well, and my uncles. Like, my mom worked at Glen Raven Mills. She worked in where she dyed yarn for 8 to 10 hours a day. My father worked at Martin Marietta Rock Quarry, and where he worked there for 8 to 10 hours a day. My grandmother was a hard worker. My uncles, like I mentioned, my aunties, everybody worked. Like, that was something that I noticed really early on that, okay, my family don't have a problem of working. And it rubbed off on me and my brother and my sister. I worked in the tobacco fields when I was growing up, Tom.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to get out on the football field and do something that I was passionate about and loved, rather than being out in tobacco fields, it was a no-brainer. But that work ethic from the tobacco fields and working in high school, playing Friday night games, getting up Saturday mornings and going and opening up the store at Burger King to get everything going and operating. I just developed a work ethic that was just passed on from my parents and my grandparents. And that helped me out so much when I came to St. Louis, because Dick Vermeil, as you know, was no joke. Dick was no joke. So the fact that I had that work ethic and I love doing what I love to do, which is to play football, it was a great marriage for me. And it helped me to to really get acclimated to the pro game fairly quickly due to the fact that I had a really good work ethic, like you mentioned.
Yeah, you did, and the team really got after it. Then Trent Green gets hurt in the preseason.
Yeah.
I remember the game being there, San Diego Chargers. We all felt sick. And the next day, Dick Vermeil pounds on that table and says, "We will rally around Kurt Warner and we will play good football." I'm standing right there.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, okay, I mean, I've seen Kurt a little bit. I don't know, but I know this. The offense looked really good. So, I mean, what was it like for you? I mean, it obviously took off into an offense that nobody could stop, Torry. I mean, you had the NFL on their heels all season.
Yeah, I had no idea. But, you know, Oz Hakeem and Ricky and those guys and Tony Horn was like, look, you know, last year, Kurt, you know, they was on the scout team, and he was like, look, you know, we was doing our thing. Like, we had some nice moments against our, you know, number one defense, and Kurt was throwing us the ball. So they were like, yo, T, he can throw. Like, he's pretty good. But I didn't know. You know, and then me as a rookie, you know, I'm just trying to make sure I know my assignments.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not really caught up into who Kurt Warner is and, you know, can he do it? I'm just trying to make sure that I know my assignments and I can go out and compete and be ready to do that on a day-to-day basis. But, man, as soon as he jumped in, man, that, you know, 428 was called. He would hit that back foot, and that ball was thrown 2 yards inside the numbers on those dig routes. I was like, whoa. Like, yeah, he's alive. He's got a live arm, but a lot of that came from his time in arena ball, which is a fast-paced game. It's quick releases, quick drops. And Kurt was just was hella talented. And then he had guys around him too, Tom. And our fans know this. He had guys around him too that was just as prolific, that was just as focused, that was just as determined, that was just as talented and good. So it was a good, it worked out really well because everyone had that same mindset. He was just the guy that was pulling the trigger every single down. And fortunate enough, he had the mental capacity, he had the competitiveness, he had the drive, and he knew that this was a grand of an opportunity and that he needed and wanted to seize, and he did that. And we helped him as well become Kurt Warner and who he is, and now a Hall of Famer. But yeah, I mean, I recognize, you know, in a day or two there with him being under center, that this guy had the ability to throw the football.
You'll always be linked to Super Bowl 34 and to the Super Bowl for the rest of your life. You'll see that catch over and over and over, and then there was, of course, the catch after that that got you the lead, and then the tackle for Mike Jones. But for you personally, when I say Super Bowl 34, what flashes back into your mind? What runs through your head?
I'll show you.
That's what I'm talking about.
This flashes every time someone says Super Bowl 34 champions. And the Super Bowl 34 champions, the St. Louis Rams. So that's what I remember, man. I remember the confetti. I remember the sweat, the tears that we all put in together, and the excitement that we all shared celebrating one another, Tom. I think, to me, that was part of the story that has not been told a lot, is how unselfish and caring we were for one another and each other's success. There was no bickering and beefing going on about who would get the ball, how many touches he had, or how many touchdowns he had. It was all about, it was geared towards going out and playing and competing at a high level all the time, in practice, in walkthroughs, more importantly on Sundays. And that's what allowed us to get this crown. That's what allowed us to become champions. And then Coach Vermeil and our coaching staff, and the way that they pushed us and challenged us on a day-to-day basis was fantastic. All that extra running that Coach Vermeil put on us, the time gassers after full-time practice, the live red zone drills where we do, the live 2-minute drills that we would do. I'm talking about live 2-minute drills, time gassers after a 2-hour practice. It all was worth it, and it all helped us get to this point right here and to win the Super Bowl. Because when we needed to dig down deep, and Mike Jones is a perfect example of that, digging down deep and making that crucial tackle when we needed to seal the win, It all came from all of the hard work and the unselfishness that we put in as a group. So this is what I remember, Tom, and our St. Louis Rams fan. This is what it's all about. This will keep us in history books for the rest of our lives.
It was just a remarkable achievement, an incredible moment. And at that point, you all were rock stars. And I remember, one thing that stands out for me, for you, and you had so many great moments in your career, and we don't have enough time to go through them all. And you've had a remarkable Hall of Fame career. You should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I'll say it. And I know that it's going to happen. But
thank you.
When you and Oz, you know what I'm talking about, side by side against the Broncos on Monday Night Football to start the next season. Yeah. I remember sitting there in the dome and thinking, this team is never going to be stopped. And you were that season. I mean, it's hard to do. It's hard to win again. But that moment to me was just such a wow moment. Like, they are so ahead of the league. The league eventually comes and gets you. But at that point, I thought I don't know that we'll ever see anything like this. And Torry, with all respect to all the offenses that have been in this game, I'm not sure we'll ever see anything like the greatest show on turf.
Yeah, it was, Coach Martz and the staff would always say that we were in a special place at a special time, and to be in the moment and take full advantage of it. And I think we did to an extent. I really do. And that play right there was an example of guys just enjoying playing the game of football. We were like little kids, though we were adults, but we played the game like little kids. And the way we prepared, Tom, gave us the confidence to go out there and just impromptu, like we did, Oz and I running down the sideline together. The way we prepared gave us the confidence to play that way, gave us the confidence to celebrate with each other. And as I mentioned earlier, we enjoyed celebrating each other's success. And you saw that on that play. I think it was 0-22, Z stop. You got double crosses underneath. Isaac sits over top of the ball. And they decided to blitz, I think. Well, when you blitz us and you don't get there, those are the kinds of things that happen. And we used to tell people all the time, if you leave your seat in St. Louis, you might miss something big. And I had so many people come up and tell me, I went to the concessions after that. Oh, I got up at the house and went and got something out of the refrigerator and missed the total play. Had to wait till the replay. Well, that's how good and fluid and explosive we were, Tom, as an offense. And we became the greatest show on turf. And the reason why is because of the speed in which we played, the precision and efficiency in which we played, and how much fun we had playing the game. Everybody loved watching the greatest show on turf because of the speed and the big playability that we had, not only in the passing game. I hadn't even got to Marshall. We had that kind of big playability with Marshall running the football as well. So just a special time, man, special place and special time. And I'm so happy that I was a part of it. And I'm so happy, Tom, too, that I didn't take it for granted. I enjoyed every moment of the greatest show on turf. There's no moment that I can go back into and say, man, I wish I would have did this better, or I wish I would have been more in tune. I enjoyed every moment of the greatest show on turf.
And that's why you were so good throughout your career, because when things were stacked against you, different quarterbacks, different coaches, Bulger was a good quarterback, but different coaches, different quarterbacks, different offenses, different this, different that. The constant was Torry Holt's going to catch 100 balls. Torry Holt's going to go well over 1,000 yards every single season. Consistency. And I know you're very proud of that, and you had a remarkable run throughout your career. And I know that when you look back at your numbers stacked against the rest of the greats that have gone and consider what you did and your longevity, it's a remarkable career, Torry, and I know you're very proud of those accomplishments as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, for me, Tom, and for our St. Louis Rams fans and listeners just listening that followed me and watched me, I took tremendous pride in what I look like on Sundays, what I look like during the week to get to Sunday. That was important to me. It was important for me to show up every Sunday, to be available, not only be available, but show up and make plays, get people out of their seats, get people excited about supporting Rams football. And that's how I approached it. You know, I came up in an era where it was Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Kareem, and all those guys. They played every night. And they showed up every night. So I was saying to myself, if I ever get an opportunity to play on the professional ranks, I'm going to make sure that I show up every single Sunday that people come into the dome, or every single Sunday when we're playing on the road. I wanted people to remember me for the way that I played the game, the passion and the fun in which I played the game, and then the mastery of the craft of playing the wide receiver position. All those things were important to me.
Torry, before we go, and I know your daughter's soccer game is upcoming, so I want to make sure that you see it. But what are you up to now? How can people support you? I know that you and your family are very active in the Raleigh, Durham area.
Yeah, well, we have our foundation, Holt Brothers Foundation. We've been serving the community for 20 years now. We still help out families in St. Louis with kids with a parent or guardian that's battling cancer. We work with Siteman's Cancer Center there in St. Louis, along with Barnes-Jewish Hospital. So HoltBrothersFoundation.org to learn more about what we're doing with our Kids Can and Camp Kesem programs. Again, supporting young kids with a parent or guardian that's battling cancer. My brother and I are business partners. We have a construction company here in North Carolina that we're running, and we're active right now on numerous of jobs that are going on. I'm also a Southeast region coordinator for the NFL Legends community, helping all of our legends post-career. The NFL Legends community celebrates, educates, embraces, and connects all legends with each other, their former teams, and league. So I'm excited to be a part of that. I am on Sirius XM NFL radio every Wednesday night, 7 a.m. to 8.
They got you before I could get you. They got you before I could get you. Yeah.
Yeah. 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm sorry, Eastern Standard Time, which is 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, talking all things Rams. So that's so much fun, myself and Kirk Morrison. And then every Friday afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm on ACC Today, talking all things ACC sports, ACC football. So I got a busy life, man, a full life, and get an opportunity to see my kids play soccer, and so yeah, man, that's how you can find out more about me. Again, HoltBrothersFoundation.org, and then on Twitter, I'm at allhands81. On Instagram, I'm at Torry_Holt81. So those are my socials. So check me out. There we go.
And
yeah,
vote for this guy. So ProFootballHallOfFame.com. Right here. It's up now. You can cast your vote for him. Get him in there. This will be replayed, by the way. This show will be replayed on Facebook, on Twitter. We'll make sure we get that out there. ProFootballHallOfFame.com for Torry Holt. Torry, you're awesome. Good luck to your daughter in the soccer game. Thank you for joining me in my garage. I've been wanting to get you on the Garage Happy Hour, and I'm so glad you did. It's great to see you. I know we'll see you in person here sometime soon.
No doubt. I'm looking forward to getting back to St. Louis, and I'm going to come out to a Cardinals game. And to all my folks in St. Louis, thank y'all. I love y'all. I miss you. This one's for you.
Thank you. Well, we're sponsored by Bommarito Automotive Group, and thank you for joining us on the Garage Happy Hour. We're here on Thursdays at 5:30. We had a good time, and we'll see you soon.
At Bommarito, shop thousands of new vehicles. Get more for your trade, the Bommarito nationwide warranty, 10 years, 200,000 miles, and the best service after the sale. Bommarito, Missouri's #1 automotive group, open 24/7 at Bommarito.com.